Alte Daily.
4, 3, 2, 1.
For those who are tuning in and expecting to see Mimi, or hear Mimi actually, she's not here today, but welcome to the MII show. I'm now in the presence of the one and only
Tumi Adebimpe.
Okay. Tumi, do you want to bring the mic a bit closer?
Yeah, let's
Perfect.
make this better.
Now, for those at home listening, you know how I am. I like to stick it on people. Tumi just pronounced her name
Oh, here we go.
in the most code-switching...
Here we go.
in the most code-switching name possible. Tumi, do you want to introduce yourself again?
Ekale.
No.
Orúkọ mi ni Tumi Adebimpe.
Exactly, guys. We're going to talk about code switching actually right after the break. And I just want to know what you guys feel about that for us of African origins, Jamaican, I don't know, wherever you're from. How do you feel about code switching? Anyway, first song I'm going to play today is Trey Songz Missing You. Welcome back to Hoxton Radio at Mama Shelter. You know where we at. Tumi, why are you smiling at me like that?
Because you've got your radio voice on.
Of course I do, of course I do. We have to make it exciting for those that are just listening in, you feel me? Steph London, I love that song. Have you heard that before?
Do you know what? I don't know. To be perfectly honest with you.
Brilliant song.
But
no?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it? Yeah,
I
yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's her and her Afrobeat bag.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Shout out to Burna Boy for introducing Steph to this new wave. It's not actually a new song, but speaking of code switching, as we did say before, Steph does a lot of patois speaking and she lets us know that she's Jamaican all the time. How do you feel about code switching in the workplace? Even now, maybe on radio. I mean, this is my normal voice, but just elaborated on radio.
Yeah. I feel like it's a necessary skill.
The code switch.
Yeah, I think it's necessary to code switch. I feel like no. Look, if you're going to survive in the modern world, and if you want to, the reality of the way the world is, if you want to access certain spaces, you need to be able to communicate with the people in those spaces. One of my favorite quotes, Nelson Mandela: "If you speak to a man in a language he understands, he'll give you his ears. If you speak to him in his language, he'll give you his heart." And I think there's so much wisdom in that. Like, you need to communicate with people in a way that they understand. It will get you a lot further. I just think it's necessary, personally.
To me, I must tell you, you're a very intelligent woman.
Thank you.
I actually just love that.
Thank you very
I
much.
actually had nothing to say to it. So, but my question to you is, if one is code switching, does that remove a layer of authenticity? Or is it just being smart and just navigating through life, right? Because it's just one of those things that happen.
I think it's just being human. I think we all have layers. I don't think I've really ever met a one-dimensional person.
Fair.
So it's just you show different layers to different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this your work voice?
This is my hello.
How did your mother speak to you at home?
She speaks to me in Yoruba.
Okay, so you understand Yoruba.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's brilliant. At the end of the day, man, it's as long as we know our language.
Yeah.
That's kind of good. That's kind of good. Well, I think we're going to go on another break. I want to play Mandy by Scribs Riley. It was one of my favorite songs during the pandemic. I discovered him. I felt really good about it because I hadn't been looking for music for a while. And it was kind of one of our doper UK artists that make music from a musical perspective, for lack of a better word. But yeah, let's tune into Scribs Riley, Mandy. Welcome back to Hoxton Radio.
Hello, I'm back.
You're back. Are you always laughing? Is that your thing?
No, not really. But I am a person who believes that people are like, oh, it's either you laugh or you cry.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm tired of tears. Let's be laughing.
Fair enough.
Let's be laughing.
Do you walk around smiling? Is that a thing that you do?
Sometimes, although obviously we live in London, I have decided that my face may be too friendly.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you sit on the bus or the tube or whatever, there are other seats. There are other seats.
Did you just say the bass?
The bus, yeah, like totally. There are other seats. Go. Why are you sitting next to me?
Because you appear to be friendly.
Exact. That's the problem.
That's a good thing, I guess. No, I think it's a great thing.
No, it is nice. Like obviously, overall, it is actually quite nice that people think I have a nice
spirit and you're warm to them.
Yeah.
Well, we did just play Jake Isaac. It's funny how when we met a couple weeks ago, so for those who are listening, Tumi and I met at my friend's mother's 60th, and we was all in the same car back, getting dropped back to the ends. And anyway, Tumi and I was like talking about artists, and I asked her if there's anyone else she could put me onto, and she's like, Jake Isaac. And I'm like, wait, I discovered this guy some days ago, and then I showed her on my phone in my Instagram search, because I always said I had to do my research on his page, and I was like, okay, she's got great taste in music. So that one today was dedicated to you.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, you're going to his show, right?
I am so excited. Basically, you are now going to have to hear the entire story of Tumi and Jake Isaac. I first saw him live when he opened for Tori Kelly, who's one of my favourite singers. He opened for her just before lockdown. Shout out Coffee Lockdown that we just played. So I saw him as the opening act. On next month is going to be when I see him for the first time as like the main act.
Yeah.
And Jerub is his opening act, who I recently discovered the music of as well. So now I'm like, I next need to see Jerub as a main act, because clearly this is the pattern.
Yeah. And is this something you love doing? Because I mean, I do know a lot of people, they love the whole process of, going to live shows. And I discussed with Mimi, my co-host, last week, that I'm just, surprisingly, I'm not a live music guy. I like live music, but I don't chase artists for live experiences.
Shocking.
Really?
Shocking.
I'll tell you my reason. So basically, a lot of times I'm working on the back end. So it's kind of hard to enjoy what it takes, because you guys are basically listeners and fans, and you can just enjoy it for that. I'll be in the crowd going, oh yeah, the reverb's too much. It's psycho.
Too much.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You know too much.
It's a bit psycho. How is his sales doing? Is there anything you're aware of, or is it just are his fans showing out for him?
I don't. If I'm being perfectly honest, there was a time when I was like really clued up on the various artists that I liked, and what they were doing and how they were being received by their fans, and like being really involved in being engaged, and like trying to see the artists that I liked really expand their platform and get the flowers that I think they deserve. At the minute, I mean that in the sense of like being very present on socials.
Yeah.
At the minute, I've pieced out of socials.
Pieced out, I like that.
Yeah. So, or I don't actually know necessarily how it's going for him sales wise, but I mean, I feel like if I am a typical Jake Isaac fan, then it's probably going quite well, because I saw he was going to be on tour. I was like, message my friend, are we going? We're going? Cool,
yeah,
let's go.
Do
you know?
Yeah. And what's the capacity? What's the capacity of the venue?
I don't think it's like massive, but I also don't think it's like miniature.
800? 650?
Maybe more like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
If you're a touring artist, that's good.
Yeah.
And he's not signed, is he?
That is a great question, because I don't know if he's got his own like independent
label.
Yeah. That's an excellent question.
Listen, fair enough, man. Praise be to Jah. Shout out to Jake Isaac and his family. his fans. I do know that.
Representing.
Yeah, he's got some kids. I think I saw that on his page, and
They are adorable.
yeah, he looks like a great family man. So we give praise to Jar for that. Up next, I do want to spin a bit of YG Marley. Praise Jar in the Moonlight, because obviously we just played Coffee, and I want you guys to, come with me on this journey today. I'm taking you on a journey musically. So yeah, enjoy. We'll be back after the break. Hoxton Radio. Welcome back. Listen, man, what a beautiful song.
Straight tune, straight fire.
Talk to me about that, because you plugged that as well.
I did, because Joseph Solomon, what a wow.
What a wow.
What an actual wow.
That was
Please,
brilliant.
let's talk about it.
Yeah. Would you say though that these guys, obviously, Joseph and Jake Isaac, I mean, they do rub me off with the same shade as Jacob Banks.
I hear that.
And there's that genre of like artistry that is so brilliant that they work well in a lot of TV shows like Suits. I always hear them like closing out the seasons and stuff. But does it sometimes feel like they could all be in one playlist?
As in that they're all the same, or that they're complementary?
Similar. I think they're more the same than complementary, with all due respect to them.
Oh. No, sorry. I actually hear what you're saying. So my thing is, like, the way that genres work, right, is that there does have to be some level of similarity or semblance between different artists that belong to that genre, that which you're alluding to. So in that sense, like, yeah, I do agree with you. But then on the flip side, I do think that they still have their own like texture and taste and like essence that make them different. So like Jake Isaac has got that like rasp. Joseph Solomon, sure, he's got a bit of rasp, but he's more like, he's like butter.
Oh wow. This is an ad. This is an ad.
This is a whole
This is an ad. So you said Jake Isaac is like what?
Jake Isaac has got the rasp, and we love the good rasp.
Yeah.
It's true that Joseph Solomon also has a rasp, but he's like butter. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not the same. Like, they are both excellent in different ways. So I don't think we can just call them the same.
And then Jacob Banks is what?
Oh, what is Jacob Banks? Excellent question. Jacob Banks is like, he's like a warm hug.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of get
He
that.
is, isn't he?
So when you say like genres are the same, so then what genre would you put that under? Would that be soul, UK soul? I mean, what genre would you call it?
I think I would lean towards soul for that category of gentleman.
Okay.
I can't say UK because Joseph is from the US.
From the US, yeah.
But yeah, I would lean towards soul.
So like when you see, I'm just trying to think. I don't know why Kate Nash is coming in my head, but pause. But I'm just trying to think. So for example, what's that girl's name? That Big Sean's ex-girlfriend, the singer.
You are asking the wrong person.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Okay, let's switch it up.
I told you I don't know pop culture like that.
Okay, let's switch it up. So let's say you had Future, right? You do know Future, right?
Continue
the conversation.
sentence.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say the time Future came out and there were similar guys on that wave. Or let's even look at the UK gigs. When gigs really took over the market, all of a sudden, everyone's rhyme pattern changed. At the time, I remember you'd go on Alte Daily and everyone would just be rapping in that same, taking an extra 4 seconds pause and stuff like that. Clearly, they were replicas of gigs, and now that the time has passed, he's still doing himself, and people have found different patterns, and those who copied are out of the loop or whatever the case may be. So I think I'm more so stressing in, not that you can't have your raspiness, not that you can't sing on mid-tempo beats, but it sometimes feels like maybe the delivery and the context is similar. So could you do a skippy flow? Could you still be soul and maybe sing about not falling in love, or maybe sing about other things that are like different topics that are also more relatable. That's really what I'm pressing at. So it's like, if you got the same voice or similar voices, similar beats, similar deliveries, you know, you're pretty much the same. Have you given up on me?
No, because nobody is ever past saving.
Oh,
no,
man.
To be fair, like I do actually understand like what you mean where you're coming from, and I have had a similar like feeling sometimes with certain spoken word artists. I do that the Americanisms of spoken word. There was a time they very much came over into the UK scene, and people would put on a voice, so that you would have someone who was very British speaking in the most American accent ever.
So code switching. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And that to me rubs the wrong way, because I'm like, I want to hear your words in your voice. Whereas I do think these artists, so like Jake and Joe, wow, all the J's. I do think they're still being authentically themselves, and I think that's what pulls me to their music, because it still feels like an essence of a different person. You know, it doesn't feel like I'm just listening to another carbon copy.
Fair enough. I guess we all have our interpretations.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And that's beautiful, because music is subjective, and we can choose to love what we love. But yeah, shout out to Mimi for that. I think up next, I want to put Mimi onto someone. This is Marnie Taylor, What Is Love? That was, I played Marnie Taylor.
You did?
How did you feel about that song?
It was gorgeous. But I do have to get something off my chest.
Go for it. She doesn't sound like Jacob Banks.
No, she does not. You called me Mimi before we went to the songs. I was like, I want to be put onto a song too. Meanwhile, Mimi's getting put on, and I'm sat right here.
Oh my God, attachment issues. Oh my God, Mimi, if you're listening right now, I guess that proves that I miss you.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Mimi.
It doesn't mean that you haven't been great. You've been fantastic. I'm sorry, Tumi. I misbehaved on that note. I'm sorry. But did you like the music?
Oh, it was good. It was
Marnie
really
Taylor,
good.
right?
Yeah, no, she's good.
Yeah, I saw you taking notes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to add this to my playlist.
You should. Brilliant.
No, she's really good.
And then I played the Kooks. Ooh La.
Ooh La.
You like that one too?
I actually did. It's a very different vibe.
Indie. You didn't expect me to play that. You didn't think I had that in my arsenal, did you?
No, do you know what? I can believe you had it in your arsenal. I was just surprised that it came when it did.
Listen, you have to switch things up.
Yeah, it came from left field, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
okay, I can get on board. I can dig
it. Oh, that's brilliant. I'm looking at your left hand right there, to me. Yeah. For those who don't know, so when we were in the car journey on the way back, Tumi did mention. Tumi, do you want me to break the news?
Bro, this is like old news.
Okay, I mean, it's old news, but for me...
But for you, it's new. It's true.
For me, it's new news. But yeah, Tumi did mention on the way back in the car that she has a fiance.
Fiance!
Oh my God. Okay, so...
She's gonna be a wife. She's gonna be a wife.
So I have a couple things I would like to... You know, I'm a direct guy, man. It causes a lot of, upset for people who don't like my mode of approach. But before I speak on what I want to speak on, I want to ask you, how was the proposal?
It was so nice. It was so lovely and thought out and just romantic and wonderful.
How romantic? What happened? Describe it for us.
Okay, well, I need you to picture Hyde Park.
Okay.
There is a billowing tree.
So it was in London, okay.
It was in London. Okay. It was in London. It was in the branches of a beautiful tree. Well, okay, that sounds like we climbed the tree, which we didn't. Although his friend did climb the tree.
Okay.
So that he could hit play on the song. Again,
wow.
shout out Jake Isaac.
Wow.
Gold.
Wow. Wow.
Where at the right moment, they had a string of lights to set a path leading to a little tent to symbolize home and adventure. There was like little Hawaiian flowers in the trees.
Oh, brilliant.
There was like photos of us in the tent, and it's just every single little thing was thought through, like even the ring.
Brilliant. Looks nice.
It's gorgeous. It's like a vine kind of style
on
and it was
theme.
like,
All right.
yeah, and it was like to think about a verse in the Bible that's like, he is the vine, we are the branches. He had his whole speech like pre-recorded because he knew words would fail him in the moment. Like,
he's a poet.
he's fam. Anyway, shout out you, Aaron. Shout out you. I know you're working, so you can't hear this, but shout out you.
Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. The reason why I wanted you to speak on it before I spoke on it was because, you know, in recent times I've been seeing a lot of proposals, and like I said, I'm very honest, very direct. It's something that people love me for, and the others who don't, that's their business, to be fair. I think proposals and birthday things that men do for women, I think they are so dry.
Screaming.
It's like, bro, like, it's like you're reading a script. Like, if I was a girl, I would feel like there's no thought into it, because the whole point of being romantic to me is actually thinking outside the box. It's not about the money. It's not about, to be fair, you spent money on the ring, so how can I come up with something that is so creative and memorable for us in our story that we're gonna enjoy?
Yeah.
So the typical things I see are some silly balloons, some silly petals, and some silly little brick things that say "marry me." Now, please, by any means, I am not. Shout out to you if that's what you're doing. But for me, like, if I was a girl and I received that, it's like you just opened the textbook and just did copy and paste.
I'm gonna need to ask a quick question.
Yes.
If I had sat here and said that was my problem, where was this conversation gonna go?
I would still say it, and Aaron might not like me, but guys, man, we gotta switch it up, man. Come on. Like, but do you feel me though?
Do you know? I actually do.
Balloons.
I actually do.
Balloons
I actually
and
do
red
feel
petals.
you. I do feel you.
So if I
on this
propose
one.
tomorrow, I just get balloons and then have the marry me there, and then red petals. Like, how is that supposed to be our story? Like, what's creative about it?
I hear it. I actually hear it very strongly. And this is probably one of the few things that
You can agree with me on.
yes, even though I feel bad to say it. However, okay,
You feel
because
bad to say you agree with me.
forever the voice of reason I shall be. Okay. However,
Yeah.
cliches become cliches for a reason.
This is why I like
People want flowers and they want their petals and they
petals.
want their signs that say,
Fair
"Will you
enough.
marry me?"
Fair
and they
enough.
want the shot in front of the sunset. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Fair enough.
these
Nah.
cliches are cliches for a reason.
That's why I actually love talking to you, because you balance me out, or you balance the conversation out.
Yeah.
You know, let's rephrase. But I guess, you know, it then becomes a taste thing. So if that's your taste, I can't knock you for that. Do you know what I mean? So
What's your how would you propose?
I think we can talk about that when we return from the break.
Judging the question.
Yes. Up next, guys, I'm going to play one of the UK classics during the Channel U era. This is Stand By You by Darren B. Welcome back. I played Monica by Tate Iwa, and then I played Darren B, Stand By You, What a Wedding Song. Did you like that?
I was vibing the whole time.
That was a brilliant song, man.
Very good.
Brilliant song. I feel like it's one of them type of records you want to play on your wedding night. No?
Maybe.
When's the wedding?
It's not till next March.
Okay. Why? How come people can't just? Oh, maybe the finances. You might have to let me know, but just propose and then just get married, like a month or two after. How does it work?
I mean, some people do.
Okay.
But I think it's also kind of, there's an industry, like getting married has become an industry.
Okay.
Which means that even if you're trying to get out of the industry, or like I like to talk about a wedding tax, like certain things cost more just because they're for a wedding. So even if you're trying to, for example, the venue that I've booked for the reception, it's not a wedding venue. It's just an events venue, which means it's the same price all year round. However, generally things get booked up, especially in London. So it's kind of like lead time that means that there's usually some sort of gap between the proposal and the actual wedding.
So you're an industry plant.
I'm an industry plant. Well, to be fair, look, I'm all for dismantling the industry. Go right ahead. Get married straight away if you want.
Why not? Do you know what I mean?
Just stay married.
Why
like
not?
I'm not here for the 72-hour marriages. I don't understand. I don't subscribe.
So then how do you feel about the destination weddings? Is that a thing? And then also, like, if you're getting married and you're spending, I don't know what the average thing is, but it might be 20, 30, 40K, just on an average level. And then obviously people do go overboard and spend hundreds of thousands. How do you feel about catering to that amount of guests and then potentially actually divorcing? Because from a business perspective, well, you know,
You said it's a contract, and therefore...
Yeah, from a purely business perspective, how do you feel about, you know, spending 100 racks on a wedding and you're gonna get divorced in like 2 years because you guys didn't do the marriage classes? You didn't, maybe what your foundation was on was maybe potentially lust, potentially what both of you can get from each other, potentially what your families were, your family name. You know, with all that being said, you know, why would you spend that amount and then be in an unhappy marriage?
I think it really comes down to, like, there's a lot of clout chasing in society. I'm very much a proponent of you shouldn't be getting married because society tells you it's time. You shouldn't be getting married because you're like, oh, well, nobody else asked me and I'm getting old.
So you're saying you shouldn't settle?
Yeah, and I know that sounds really...
They're coming from you.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here with my hand all shining. Yeah. And I'm like, don't settle.
That's all you've been flicking in my face all
so I know it's like, it's kind of like, it doesn't land the same when it comes from someone who's engaged. But genuinely, I'm just kind of like, even if you're going into a marriage on a strong foundation, I still don't think it's worth spending the equivalent of a housing deposit for a party where the majority of guests are people that you don't even want there. Yeah. That I don't subscribe to. Yeah. I'm like, look, everybody cut your clothes according to your cloth. So if you're rich and you want all of your mates to be there and you can spend, like, I don't know, £1 million. Wow, that's a big amount of money. Anyways, if you can spend that on your wedding and that's like chicken change to you, then go calm, do you. But I think fundamentally it's not really about how much you spend or where you do it, whether it's a destination or if it's about like what actually is your foundation, what is your actual reason for getting married, and what is your concept of marriage. Because I think a lot of people don't have...
You sounded Australian for a second. A lot of people.
A lot of people. I mean, I think like it's more American, personally. Like a lot of people...
Oh, God.
don't have the same view of marriage, I think, as back in the day where it was very much like a lifetime... commitment. Whereas now, oh my gosh, have you seen all of those amicable ads?
No, I haven't.
It's literally divorce made simpler. And it's literally the whole premise of this company is basically we're going to take divorce as a given.
Oh my God.
So since you're getting divorced anyway, let's do it nicely.
Let's do it.
And it's like, okay, cool. It's great that you're not wanting like awful separations and you want things to be peaceful. Yeah. But also we have now come to a place as a society where we just take divorce as a given.
It's inevitable, like people dying. So there are people who have funeral companies and they make a killing. Yeah. So someone in their family dies. I mean, well, to that point, I'm not too fussed about not being invited for weddings. Do you know what I mean? Please don't invite me unless it's very necessary.
I mean, you're not invited.
No, not to yours. I was just thinking about the people out there. Do you know what I mean?
I just wanted to be a hater.
Don't invite me if it's not necessary. I'm also not very keen on being a best man and all that stuff. Like, it's too much work, too many group chats. Like, listen, bro, I got love for you. Do your thing. You know what I mean? If I can pull up, I'll pull up, most likely. And yeah, vice versa as well, man. On my wedding, you might not even know. I just pop out.
You're giving eloper vibes. I can see it. I can see you being like, let's elope. And you just go off into the night.
That's
and
me.
you're
That's
just
me,
like,
man. I want limited numbers.
Yeah.
Like, why do I want? I don't even want to. I don't want to be meeting my fifth cousin that I haven't seen in 10 years and I won't see again. I don't want to be seeing my uncle that I don't even really know. And also, if you notice in weddings, people always leave, and the guests are always like, they could have done this better. This was too far. This was too, and it's like, why do I want to spend money to appease guests that will never be pleased, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like chasing winds.
I hear it.
What a segue. Up next, I want to play one of my favorite songs, I think last year. It's called Chasing Wind by Tim Lyle. So, enjoy it. That was Hayley Knox, Charismatic. It's
an absolute tune.
Yeah. I think the word for today is discover. I discovered her maybe last year. I think to those listening, shout out to those who are messaging us, friends, family, texting, doing all of that. To those listening anyway, I think we're putting you guys onto a lot of good music, and we're actually telling you who we're playing so that you can actually go and listen for yourself and enjoy the music. How do you feel about people back in the day who didn't want to share music?
What, as in like gatekeeping music? Or do you mean something else?
Yeah. So I feel like there's this saying that, Nigerians in Nigeria, or Nigerians here, or black people here, maybe like, oh, you don't know about that still, or Nigerian like, you don't know that one. But in America, they're always like, yo, man, you ain't heard about this? Like, they have a culture of trying to put on, and instead
of being like, oh, let me shun you because you don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that. Like, shunning people for lacking knowledge is really, again, unsubscribe. I'm not interested.
I'm pretty sure someone put you on.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, none of us came into this world knowing everything and having knowledge about everything. And I get that, like, okay, we want to have a sense of belonging to certain groups or whatever, and part of having that sense of belonging is having a shared pool of knowledge and inside jokes and references and whatever. But at the end of the day, you did not come into this world with that knowledge, so to like be so rude it's like, what is the word, to somebody else just because they don't have it, I just unsubscribe.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, like, it's almost like a school-esque type of mentality.
Yeah.
Of like, ooh, you don't know. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. So
do you feel comfortable in saying you don't know? Because some people feel a type of word. Like, you might ask someone, oh, have you heard of... And they'll be like, oh, yeah.
I think it depends on the context.
So you do say yes to things you don't know sometimes?
So I wouldn't, like, explicitly say yes. I'll just steer the conversation so that we don't have to discuss whether or not I know.
You're a code switcher.
I mean, call it what you want to call it.
What you're showing me is that you know how to navigate through life.
I do.
Which is actually a great thing. That's cool, man. What were you like in school?
Oh, I was a teacher's pet.
Really? You sat at the front with your glasses.
Why are you coming for my glasses?
I'm wearing glasses.
No, but why are you coming for them?
I'm wearing glasses too.
Are yours even functional? They just look like they're fashion.
I'm short-sighted. Thank you very much.
Okay, fine. I'll allow you.
Yes.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. It's a bad thing. Like, sometimes I have to get really close. Because it can get tricky.
Yeah, it's quite a sad life. Personally, I think that when we were younger, Specsavers scammed us. I don't know about you, but when I was in primary school, suddenly everybody needed glasses. No, they didn't. They did not.
You know what? Yeah, that's an angle.
I'm just saying, think about it, guys. Think back to when you were younger. Why is everyone suddenly having glasses? I'm just going to leave that there.
But the funny thing was, Glasses were, you know, when you're young, you find silly things cool, right?
Yeah.
So glasses were kind of cool. And I remember just being like, oh yeah, I need glasses, and
That's how they got me.
and kind of getting glasses, but then I didn't wear them for ages. And then I remember being in A-levels, and our classroom was pretty small, maybe about 2 times bigger than this room. And I just couldn't see the board, man. And I was sat like, there wasn't any difference. Like, it wasn't like there's a front and a back. All the tables were in squares, right? So it's not like everyone's pretty much in the same position. And I couldn't see the board. And then I obviously went to go and get my eyes tested. And that's when it started, man.
Yeah.
So I come in. Would you ever wear contacts?
Funnily enough, guess who's got a contact lens trial tomorrow?
You.
It is me.
Oh my
You're
God.
really good at this game.
Yeah. So you're going to finger your eyes tomorrow?
I am, yeah.
my God,
I actually
it's
did one.
ridiculous.
I did a trial like 10 years ago. And then obviously I didn't wear contact lenses, otherwise I wouldn't need another trial.
Oh my God. Would you get the laser eye surgery?
I don't know if I can do it.
It's too risky, man.
It's just there's a laser in my eye.
That's why it's called laser eye.
It's so scary.
That is, as far as I'm concerned, that is reckless behavior to be able to put that in your eye. Pause. But yeah, I find that very. But anyway, what do I know, man? Up next, we got MII with Reckless and Sweet.
Godfather.
I was waiting for you.
Okay.
Why are you
Well,
whispering
imagine if I never said it. We'll just be like staring at each other in silence.
Definitely not staring at you. I will be looking at the screen. Thank you very much. I will not be staring at you. I do not want, is it Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not want Aaron to be on my case. Yes. Godfather. David O.
Very good.
Good album. Good time, better time, best time. No, good. What was it? Good time. Good time, better time. The last time. No.
Do you know what? I don't know.
You
but
don't know.
I'm just gonna.
No.
You're gonna look it up. You're gonna. Yeah, it's
no,
happening.
no,
It's happening.
No. We gotta figure out good time, better time. A time was had. No, good time, better time. Bestest time. No, what was
What?
it? Good time, better time. Timeless.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm guessing you're not a David O fan.
No, I am. I've seen him live.
Okay, all right. So you're such a fan.
Yeah, I'm such a fan that
you
I
put
like.
money in his pocket.
I turned up in the concert. But like, I'm a casual fan. I think there are levels of fans.
So
you know.
you prefer Jake Isaac to David O. Fair enough.
Yeah, I can't even lie. I can't even lie.
Fair, man, to be fair, listen, Jake Isaac can't give me that Godfather. Hey, yeah, Godfather, oh, banger.
Yeah,
He's
do you
got-
know what?
he's-
I'll give you that.
He's got the most hits. He's got the most hits.
But
David.
Ashake.
No, David's got the most
But
hits.
I'm just saying. But can we just Ashake? Like I get Davido. He's doing his thing. He's good.
Ashake is current, but I'm talking about the most hits.
I'm not talking about most hits.
Okay, what are you talking
me,
about?
I'm just talking.
Okay, that's what you like. You like Ashake.
Yeah. Like to be fair, again, still a casual fan.
Yeah.
I feel like who am I the least casual fan of in terms of Afrobeats? That's an excellent question.
There's loads. Omalay,
There's
Oxlade.
yeah, there's a
so
lot.
many. At least I'm happy you didn't say Asake, because Mimi the other week was talking about Rema, and she said something because she's from where he's from, and she was like, my Benin brother. I was like, okay, let's address this. Benin? I asked her on air, Benin. So I think she did also say Asaki. I was like, Mimi, we have to stop this.
Mimi, it's okay. I still send you love. Don't let him bully you.
Mimi, listen.
I fight for you.
Listen, we have to stop this. But yeah, so you was gonna talk about. You wanted to touch on something.
No, I just wanted to say that I'm currently enjoying his music. I was listening to the album on the way over here. This is such a segue, or side note, really, not really a segue. But I don't know about you. I have random days where I'm like, today I'm in an EP mood, or I'm in an album mood.
For sure, because you want to connect to a body of work. Most definitely.
So like today was not a singles kind of day. It was an album kind of day, and his latest album was the album of the day.
Okay,
and I was just
and those are the kind of albums you like to connect to.
Do you know what? If you give me an album that is a body of work and not just a collection of songs, like hit me up. I'll listen to it.
Fair enough. There's certain albums I go back to that just puts me in a zone, like The Dream, Love, Hate. Oof, what a body of work, man. The Dream, Love, Hate, brilliant. Rick Ross, Port of Miami. you know, Young Jeezy, man, Thug Motivation. There's just certain albums that I just remember. I could, like, if I could eat it, do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I could smell where I was.
Yeah.
I could taste it. Does that make
Yeah.
any sense?
No, I think it kind of does. Like,
It's like in a capsule. Like you could just.
yeah, and it's. I don't think that every album is a body of work.
Facts.
I don't think that.
I mean, why would it need to be in today's world, right? It's a single-driven market.
But there's just some, like, if an album hits, like, that is pure art. That is pure art. So yeah. Anyways, I'm here for albums that are body of work. Feel free to put me on to any.
I will give you after this. Well, since we're going into a bit more of our cultural heritage and stuff, we will play some Wizkid and Ashake, MMS. But before we go into that, I want to play a guy that I really respect and admire. Goes by the name of Flavor Levels. Mimi, I miss you. That's all that's going on here. But I have been in the company of Tumi today, which has actually been really, really brilliant. I mean, like I said, first time I met you, it was Friendship Fireworks. You know, I felt like I'd known you for quite a long time, right?
Yeah, it was very easy conversation. But also, you know, that's probably because I'm brilliant, so I don't know how much you contributed to that.
Oh, fair enough. Have you seen the video of that MMS?
No, I actually haven't. I've seen like a snippet of it, but then I never actually stayed for the whole thing.
Oh my God.
Is it good?
Who are you?
I don't know. Like, I was like,
So it was back to that Ray Shrimmer thing of everyone being frozen.
okay.
And I guess, from my estimation, it was it's probably because of, you know, these guys are major artists, right? So budgeting as well as timing, right? You know, people are traveling, stuff like that. So I do feel like they probably had a couple hours and they had to squeeze something in that was pretty creative, right? You know, but it was a decent video. I mean, some are saying it's the song of the year.
I mean, that's fair. Do you know what I like about it is that it kind of just takes me to a different place because of the sound. I'm a sucker for a talking drum.
You're a sucker.
I'm a sucker for a talking drum.
You're a sucker.
Say the full sentence.
Okay, so you're a sucker.
Oh, go away.
Okay, what's the full sentence?
I'm a sucker for the talking drum. Fine. Yeah, no, I was saying, like, during the break that I went to a workshop for the talking drum the other week and I loved it. Yeah. I was ready to purchase one there and then, and I probably would have if they were selling them.
All right, Thames.
Yeah, look,
she plays the talking drum.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. I wanted to be a female drummer when I was younger.
You're still young.
Younger, right?
Fair enough.
That hasn't happened. And I decided that the drum kit is not my calling. Yeah. But I can still be a female drummer if I learn the talking drum. That's my new mission in life.
I am with it, and I encourage you. I support you because I do play the piano, like when I'm making beats and stuff. But I am not a classically trained piano player. Now, I do have dreams of playing the piano one day, but I don't think my fingers are cut out for that.
You're not a pianist. No, do you know why? I'm a piano.
Ah, good one. I'm not a, Here's to me with the jokes. Minnie, come back. But yeah, so I have what some people call bendy fingers, you know, they bend. I think they're pretty normal, but I do play a bit of the sax. I've had it since I was young, but the problem is with the sax I'm practicing is the neighbors, right? So the neighbors are always, because sometimes you got to tune it right, you got to get it right. So then I just backed out of it, and now it's just like a lovely ornament in my room, lovely piece. But
that's me on the guitar. It's just there. It just decorates the room now. I used to play it. I don't anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But that's the thing about, if I become a drummer, even if I get a talking drum, when am I going to practice?
In your room.
No, but people are going to hear me and they're going to be like, hey there, it's this time of day. I don't want to hear the drums.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you'll be a talking drummer.
Do you know what? We're just going to say it. I'm going to do it. I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
So when next I see you, you should come into the station with your talking drum in your hand, and that's how I want you to converse with me that day.
I have a miniature one.
That day,
It's like hand size.
that day, I don't want you to speak. I just want you to be drumming.
Fair.
Yeah. Quick question: is the word sucker, is that a swear word?
I wouldn't say it is.
You wouldn't say it is.
No. Why?
No, I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know because I did say that on radio, and I am quite passionate about my job. But
Yeah. Don't you worry. I wouldn't say it is.
Please, kids, do not be like me. Yes. Literally. Well, I do want to introduce a song up next. So, this song is actually by it's by one of the young guys in the alternative scene in Niger. I don't know if his name is Makash or Mcash, but I'm just gonna go with Mcash. With featuring GMK. I believe GMK produced it. The song is called Like Me, and I love it. It's got a great bounce. And then after that, we're gonna go into Avelino and Tiggs the Author, which kind of sounds like your Jacob Banks and whatnot, but he's just got more of an edge to it. Yeah, I'm gonna go into that brotherhood. So let's go into Like Me. Enjoy. Welcome back. We are wrapping up the show.
Boo. That's what the audience is saying.
Low key, man. I could talk to you for another hour, but we do have an exciting show next with the one and only Jack. Say what's up. Yeah, you see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jack's in the building. So yes, we do have a lovely show coming up next. But I hope you guys have enjoyed talking to myself and to me.
Yes.
Not Mimi.
Not
Hey,
Mimi.
to me. Oh, hey. Nah?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got it. Yeah.
How have you enjoyed yourself today?
No, it's been good fun. I've
Good?
enjoyed it. So thank you for having me on the show. Mimi, thank you for letting me sit in your seat. I hope you're having a great
You actually sat in my seat, but but yeah, I get it.
just let me be poetic.
I will. Well, I'm happy to have you here. It's been brilliant. Next, I want to sign out with a song called "Look After My Girl" by the one and only Sway the Sappho, one of my favorite UK rappers. Poetry, flows, diction, delivery. He was one of the guys that really inspired me in terms of UK rap, right? And yeah, I think it's just a brilliant way to end the show. So Look After My Girl by Sway. I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Actually, no, take that back. I'm not here next week. I'm going on my trip away. Anyway, yeah, so I see you the week after. I'll be back with Mimi. So yeah, you guys enjoy. Take care.
Over and out.